Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is the fifth video in our ongoing series where we're exploring the layers of meaning in the Lord's Prayer. The view is guided by the comprehensive cosmic worldview presented by Martinus. So far we have looked at the first four thought concentrations in the Lord's Prayer. Understanding God as the infinite omnipresence, seeing hallowed be thy name as perceiving the inherent goodness in everything. And we interpreted the kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as in heaven as prayers for our consciousness and will to align with the divine plan for universal humanization and harmony. In this video, we'll move to the fifth phrase in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. At face value, the common understanding of this prayer is quite simple. It's a direct request to God for the basic necessities of life. That's food, shelter, whatever is needed for survival and well-being on a given day. However, within Martinus' cosmic world picture, where everything is part of a logical evolving plan and God isn't a being who arbitrarily grants personal favors at the expense of others, this simple request takes on a much deeper cosmic significance. It's not just a personal plea, but a prayer linked to the very structure of society and the ongoing work of the divine will. So let me know in the comments about what you think about the deeper meaning of give us today our daily bread and if it has a cosmic meaning to you. Martinus shows that this prayer is inherently tied to our current evolutionary stage, where we are still transitioning from the animal kingdom, a phase characterized by struggle for existence, where one man's loss is another man's gain. This historical and still present reality of the struggle for our daily bread has led to immense inequality, a few having vast excess while many lack basic necessities. But Martinus asserts praying for daily bread is absolutely in contact with the divine will. The proof lies in the fact that the divine will is already actually working through humanity's evolution to correct this imbalance. The emergence of states, governments, laws, and social movements aimed at regulating resources and protecting the vulnerable are all expressions of this divine plan unfolding. This development aims towards a future where basic necessities are universally accessible and systems based on exploitation and inequality are dissolved. As modern people increasingly require logical explanation for life's fundamental aspects, including what prayer is and how it would work, the idea of an arbitrary God granting or denying personal requests based on faith alone becomes less relevant. Martinus provides a framework where prayer isn't about changing God's mind, but about aligning our consciousness with the cosmic reality and the divine plan. Praying for the daily bread is perfectly valid because the need for the vital necessities is just that, vital. It's not a selfish desire in the negative sense. Maintaining our physical life is a prerequisite for our spiritual evolution. Martinus explains that God does not grant prayers for personal advantages that come at the cost of others. God's will operates from a cosmic perspective, always working for the highest good of all. Therefore, prayers for selfish favors are, as Martinus puts it, essentially ignored. But the prayer, give us this day our daily bread, goes beyond asking only for our own vital needs in isolation. Martinus states that by praying this, we are implicitly aligning ourselves with the divine will that seeks the provision of these necessities for everyone. It's a prayer that our own desire for sufficiency is embedded within and subordinate to the cosmic drive towards universal sufficiency. So let's dwell a little bit with what this divine will is. Basically, we have to understand that Martinus states that we are eternal living beings. And in order to be eternal living beings, we need to experience life. And in order to experience life, we need contrasts. And these contrasts has to be renewed. So, what is happening is that we have a period of time where we experience darkness and another part where we experience light. And we alternate between these. And the alternation happens between we get saturated by whatever we are experiencing for a while, let's say it's the light, then we'll like to go towards the darkness and we will experience that. And we'll get saturated by that at some point and we'll go back to the light. And this will go on and on and on. And the important part here is to understand that we are always going towards something we like to have. So when we are saturated by the dark part, we like to go to the light part. And when we are in the light part and we're saturated by that, we would like to go to the dark part. And right now, we are pretty saturated by the dark part in some ways. So we are going towards the light part. And the dark part is the selfish part. That's where we actually harm others. And due to karma and reincarnation, we will get it back at some point. So we will experience this harm as well, this unpleasantness. And we have got that and plenty of that. So we are tired of that. We are saturated by that. And we would like to go to the lighter part. But the issue right now is that we don't have the abilities, we don't have the talent in order to actually live this light part. So we still get a lot of these dark experiences. And what I just said is part of a bigger eternal plan. So this spiral thing, this circular thing going back and forth between light and dark, is something that goes on and on. And you can say the will of God or the divine will is that we keep moving in this circular thing between light and dark. So, what the divine will is right now is that there's an understanding that we are done, we are through with the darkness, so to speak, and we are being taught how to live the light side of things. So, everything that goes towards the light is something that is, you can say, appreciated in some ways. That's where we actually get from our prayer what we are praying for. That's the unselfish part, because the light part of the world is the unselfish part. And the dark part, that's where we live on the cost of others, so to speak. That's where what we do harm other people. That's where we live for ourselves. That part has to be, we have to be done with that. We have to get over with that. We have to get through with that. So that's the divine will right now, that everything that enable us to go towards the light part, the neighborly love, so to speak, is granted, and everything that's not is not granted. So let's get back to the daily bread part of the prayer. So the prayer, give us today our daily bread, is not a prayer for us to receive special favors, including ourselves, but aligning our will with the cosmic process, ensuring that the vital needs of all our neighbors, friends, and yes, even our perceived foes are met. So it's a prayer for everyone to get what they need in order to have their necessities met. This aligns perfectly with the prayer, Thy kingdom come and Thy will be done, which points towards the evolution of consciousness and society from animalistic struggle to a state of universal humaneness and harmony, a state where access to the daily bread for all is a given, a natural outcome of a just and loving society. So, give us this day our daily bread is in Martinus' cosmic analysis a powerful prayer aligning our deepest needs and desires with the divine will for universal justice and the dawning of this true human kingdom on earth. Should also say that this human kingdom is not something that comes from day to day in general on earth. Martinus states that it will take 3,000 years. Of course, it will be better over these 3,000 years. But he also states that we can start already within ourselves and create our own human kingdom. As long as we develop, become more humane, the surroundings, experiences will be more and more aligned with this human kingdom. And that is what we will experience, although maybe the rest of the world will take a while to get there. But we are all in this evolution, and we are all doing the best we can, and we have to understand that and tolerate that. That's part of going towards this true human kingdom. I hope this cosmic perspective had given some food for thoughts to some familiar words. In our next video, we'll delve into the sixth thought concentration, one that touches upon deep human pain and healing. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive them that trespass against us. Martinus' takes on this is particularly insightful. If you found this explanation helpful, please give the video a like. It really does help the channel reach more people who might be looking for these kinds of logical spiritual insights. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to follow the rest of the series and see more videos about Martinus' work. So what are your thoughts on this interpretation of daily bread? Leave a comment below and I'd love to hear your perspective and give you a reply. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.